Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday. Another amazing weekend talking about the real estate market, and we got a great show for you. Of course, it's fall. It's October. It's my special time of the year. It's an amazing time. I always say that October, before I get going, it's a special time in the Coleman house. My mother's birthday was just the other day. Although, rest her soul, she's in heaven. Miss her. I say a lot of great ladies were born in October. So my mother... my daughter is born in October, and my wife is born in October. So October is a special time around the Coleman house. So always got those special birthdays. And in the housing market, we're going to talk about that. Why October is the best time to buy in 2025. Why is October go time? Why is it an opportunity to buy versus a spring market? We'll talk about that, so much more. Second half, we'll talk about the Fed meeting at the end of October, what's going on with the housing market, where's the rates. And we got a lot of things to talk about and so much going on, as always. But before we get going, we got some congrats, got some new listings, got some solds, and a lot of things going on. So, all right, got a new show, new topics, and some new congrats. So we got West Depot, new listing. If you haven't seen that, they hit the market last week, and we talked about that Riga Square penthouse, 617. We've got a lot of interest in that unit. It's the only penthouse that's left there, and it's one of the nicest units. You want to check it out. It's got 4 parking spots downstairs. Didn't mention that before, but 4 parking spots. Make sure you check that out. That's on my website at ryancoleman.org. Got a new listing on 2839 New Blockhouse Road in Maryville. New listing there. Excited about that one. That one actually has an opportunity for horses. It already has a horse set up with a barn, and you believe it or not, she said that the horse may go with the house. So you may never heard that, but the horse may convey. So anyway, they're leaving to Texas, and so excited to help them get there. And so great property coming up, Maryville. 3708 Tilda Hilltop Way in Sevierville, new cabin that's coming up. And 9020, we'll figure it out here. Falcon View Way in Sevierville, new listing that's coming on the market. Congrats on Timber Creek Road. Closing Maynardville today, signing paperwork. Congrats for them. And a lot going on. Working a little early, but congrats on Pine Haven in Sevierville. Luxury cabin over $1 million. Just went under contract and excited for them. And that is our congrats. New listings there. Again, if you're tuning in on a Saturday, a lot going on. Off week. Vols are not in action. It's a bye week. You guys know that, but I was excited to see everybody's pictures and videos from last week's previous game that we had in Neyland. And, of course, last week was road game, big time. And we'll talk about more about that in a little bit. But make sure you're following all of our social channels. And if you're tuning in for the first time and then listen to Real Estate with Ryan, we appreciate you listening. You can always catch us every Saturday on News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock. We're also in our partner channel there at Talk Radio 92.3 FM at 11 a.m. Also streaming live on their Facebook channel in case you miss it. And then, of course, you can catch us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X, you name it. I guess now Twitter is now X. It's hard to have on the board Twitter, but it's X now, so hard to get around X. But, anywhere of those social platforms we got, Spotify, iTunes, Google, you can catch Real Estate with Ryan. So we thank you for tuning in. So why is October the time to buy? Other than the weather starts changing, and if you're like East Tennessee, if you're like my wife today, her allergies started kicking in. So it's that time. When the weather season starts changing. And, of course, in East Tennessee, allergies, if you have allergy problems, it can be one of the toughest places to live, believe it or not, in the country, but offset by one of the greatest places to live. Fall weather. This couple of weeks here in the Smokies is where over 9 million people that visit throughout the year are going to be coming up. And so a lot of traffic up in the Smokies. If you've been watching from the sidelines this year, now is officially, the word is out on the street, this is officially the best time to buy this year. According to Realtor.com, October will have the most buyer-friendly conditions in 2025. By mid-October, buyers across much of the country may have finally had the combination of inventory, pricing, and negotiating power that they've been waiting for. It seems like we've been watching for that. It seems like the last 2 years, everything was dependent on what the feds were going to say or what's the government going to do and where are interest rates. A rare opportunity in the market now has been a tight window, and we've not seen it in a while. And I think that's where you'll see now more than ever, buyers have an opportunity at a little bit lower rates. Inventory has increased some, so there's more selection, And so if the opportunity is there for you, if you're thinking about buying, this may be a perfect opportunity. And, October as a whole, in the fall season, I met with a great client the other day, and I really it's our busiest time. Not only the stuff that we do with the university and our games, so we have the football and basketball and so much going on, but it's our busiest time other than spring and the fall market. If you do any cabins, things like we do, we have opportunities for 1031. We have a lot of luxury properties that are higher end, so we have executives that are moving in towards the end of the year, so those come into play. And guess what? You have homes that you're selling, so they have to be somewhere by January. So October and the fall is a great opportunity. This season is a great opportunity because there's more homes to choose from than we had before. Just a couple of years ago, it seemed like we were out there, we'd make an offer, and before you know it, we had multiple offers, and then they're saying, poor buyer, you got to waive your inspection. Hey, we need more earnest money, and all that kind of stuff. Less competition from other buyers. Typically during this season, buyers are getting ready for the holidays. And you don't have to move. They're not doing it, right? We start having these calls, and of course my team, we have that opportunity where we have a chance to talk to buyers and sellers. And most agents out there in the marketplace today, that if you're talking to people towards the end of the year, what is the number one thing that you hear? I think we're just going to wait, Ryan. I think we're going to wait till first of the year or until spring. But don't miss an opportunity. I helped a great client, present client with us now. It was a couple $1 million that we were selling their property. And we almost lost a buyer. And luckily, we had some great teamwork and said, no, I think we should keep it on the market during the fall. Because typically, the rule of thumb is we'll just keep the property off the market and go back in spring. And this particular buyer, we were able to secure during the off market. And believe it or not, if you go to some of the stats for our higher, we'll just talk about higher price property because that came up during our conversation regarding that. And you'd think that the larger properties, obviously they show better in the spring, landscape. This was a waterfront property. And so I said, well, let's look at some numbers. We went back 5 or 6 years looking at the larger sales, 2 million plus. And we found that most of the deals were done were between October and February, right before the market ends. Stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And when did we sell that property? I want to say it was towards right before Christmas. So it was the end of November we had a contract. So keep in mind that now, no matter the price range, may be your opportunity. Now more than what we've seen across the country, where officially October 12th through the 18th is the national, this is what we get all the time, best week to sell a house. Timing can be depending on local markets. I get this question all the time. Ryan, when is the best time to put my house in the market? We always say when you're ready, but ideally, where the market is primed the best it can be. But October 12th through the 18th across the U.S., there's several cities. I've highlighted a couple cities, won't bore you with those, but I thought it was interesting. Some cities vary and some markets vary. Atlanta, Georgia, Roswell, Georgia, September 28th through October 4th. Charlotte, North Carolina, actually is November 2nd through the 8th. It's interesting to see. Cleveland, Ohio, October the 12th through the 18th in Cleveland is officially the best week to put your property on the market and sell. Jacksonville, Florida, anybody from Jacksonville, is October 26th through November 1st. How about Los Angeles? Any Californians out there? Yeah, maybe from Long Beach area, beautiful area out there. October 12th through the 18th is officially the best week to put the property on the market. And then, of course, went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, October 12th through the 18th. And, of course, Richmond, Virginia, that was where I was born, October 26th through November 1st. So won't go into too much more of that, but those are some great dates coming up. So here we are. We're in that window of opportunity for the Tennessee market. Tennessee market is officially October 12th through the 18th is our opportunity. Home buyers now are in the best position to negotiate with the interest rates changing a little bit, prices adjusting a little bit, but is it too late? We'll talk about that more in the second half. Is affordability an opportunity? But if you can afford it, now we'll open opportunities we haven't seen. So we'll talk about that as we come up on the second half of Real Estate with Ryan. We'll talk about the Fed meeting and so much more. Stay tuned with Real Estate with Ryan on the second half.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. We're back at a second half of Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and thank you for listening to this show. I appreciate you every week, and so many followers and so many people that listen to Real Estate with Ryan. I really appreciate you guys so much. Social media, share us the love, and I appreciate all the Vol Nation that has followed our pages, giveaways, and things like that. You'll see a new commercial rolling out. Maybe you've seen us out on social media. That's out first. Had an opportunity to do some work with Carla Pickens, amazing athlete for the University of Tennessee, Lady Vols. Maybe you know about her. Well, you'll see her upcoming this spring. And then Miles Kitzelman had a big game the other day. And so I had an opportunity to do a spot with them. It was an interesting spot. So I thought it was really cool. Our team loved it. It was great. Had a chance to do it at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium and do all that. And I think it turned out well. Let me know your thoughts. But really fun working with the athletes. It's a pretty cool thing. And, we kind of tied it to our real estate market. So I think it's a good commercial. Let us know what your thoughts are. But we know we got a big game coming off. We're off this week. So let's go to our Vol update real quick. 60-second update. Drum roll, please. All right, we got a Vol update. We talked about all the stuff that we're doing here, but our big game next Saturday, we want to send you to the big game. There's really not much talking about other than Tennessee versus Arkansas Razorbacks, October 11th. Neyland, 4:15. All you got to do is go to our social channels, like, share, and follow. We're going to send you to the game. Autographed football by Miles Kitzelman. Autographed softballs coming up this spring from Carla Pickens. Also, parking passes included. All you have to do is like, share, and follow. That's it. Doesn't cost anything. We love seeing you. And if you could share some pictures about, having a good time. We love doing it. So big game this Saturday. Men are back in practice. Women are back in practice basketball. So a lot moving as we approach fall market. Exhibition games are coming up for the men basketball. So keep an eye out that. That's what we got here for our 60-second Vol update. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Go Big Orange. All right, so much. And just so much going on and so little time. But let's stay focused where we're at. And if you're tuning in, my name is Ryan Coleman, broker here in East Tennessee, helping people buy and sell houses. Had a client the other day that said we had a coaching call with some agents across the country, networking, and we were talking about what we do and really our opportunity, blessed to have an opportunity to work with a lot of great people. Client that I was meeting with the other day, had an opportunity to meet with him. He's actually from Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, and Tellico Village, great seller. Moved back to the area, was originally back here in 2002, and had an opportunity to come back to the area, and now he's selling. And not sure where he's going to relocate to, but he would like to stay in the area. And we were just networking, talking about just the opportunity to live in East Tennessee, from location, people, lakes, schools, crime, just overall quality of life here. And there's nothing better. So, we got some of the best fan base, obviously, in East Tennessee, Vol Nation, but some of the best people in the area. So makes it great to have an opportunity. We do this show Really just kind of get to know us, hopefully have fun. Not so serious, no super salesy, but really just have fun and share with you what's going on in the market. And if there's anything in the world we can do for you, anything we can help you with, that's why we're always here. And we love spending time with you. So if you need any help, we go in this fall. We talked about October the 12th through the 18th is officially Go Week. Rates have changed. Market opportunities are here. More buyers than you know of. Really, the more motivated, quality buyers are coming during the last quarter of the year. It's where people, hey, look, we're not shopping during November and December unless I'm motivated, Ryan. I've got to get something done. I've got to relocate. I've got to find a property quickly. And if we're not on the market, we lose all opportunity. So keep that in mind. If you want to know what your home's worth, if you're gauging that opportunity, it's an easy call. 865-693-7653 or 865-693-SOLD. It's easy. 693-SOLD, easiest number. Just think about it. Or you can go to our website at ryancoleman.org and do some numbers there. We'll give you instant value. It may not be the most accurate up to date because we need to ultimately see it, right? But it'll give you a gauge of where we're at real time without talking to an agent. So that's what we got going on. If we can help you in any way, you let us know. I know now we're going back to the show. We're talking about why now will be the perfect time to buy. But is affordability there? Is it too late? Is it too late with the rates? What buyers are saying they need most? Bank of America would be a home, actually a representative from Bank of America asked, would be a home buyers, what would have helped them feel better on making a move? And it's no surprise that the answers would have been clear. Affordability to improve, specifically on prices and interest rates. That's what it's coming to. Prices are moderating. Over the past few years, prices have climbed fast, but sometimes buyers feeling shut out. That's one of the probably the markets that I was chatting with a seller yesterday about, that the probably most overlooked market is the first-time buyers. Do they feel shut out? Sure does. Feels like that you can't afford anything. You know, $400,000 for a starter home, that's maybe $450,000, and may still not be what you're looking for. Nationally, experts are projecting that single-digit price increases will still happen this year. It's a much more normal pace, but the prices are still going up, where prices are really out of reach for a lot of buyers anyway. Prices aren't crashing, they're moderating. They're adjusting. For some buyers, slowdown makes buying a little bit less intimidating. But listen, you know, if you're out there in the market today, no matter price range, it's still, once you start putting pen to pad, start running numbers, you know, we've got one we're doing, and it's, you know, it still gets a little intimidating. It's easier to plan for a budget when the home values are moving at a slower pace versus a couple years where they're really appreciating. The slower price growth, coupled with a slight drop in mortgage rates, will improve affordability. And it will create an opportunity and a window for some buyers to get in the market that maybe couldn't have the first part of this year. So rates are still in the low sixes, which is a better opportunity than what we've seen before. We'll go into this last part of the segment, but you know, the Feds are meeting here not long. Let's talk about the Feds. That way we have an opportunity to, you know, talk about what they do and what they do or don't do, right? So according to experts, we've got a Fed meeting towards the end of October, and that date is October, 26th, I think. Get the exact date. Hold on. All right, so the date of the Feds are going to meet is the 28th and 29th. Okay, I want to get the exact right date. So all experts are sizing that the October 28th is expected to be a possible quarter of a point drop, all right? But there's no guarantee. Even if the Fed does cut the mortgage rates, they may be shaped by more movement in the bond markets. So ultimately, there's a lot of opportunity with the Feds, but that quarter of a point is expected not to do a whole lot of movement. A lot of the rates have adjusted. You may see some movement, but probably won't move the needle. So what we've seen across the country is that prices have been adjusted. Prices in our Knoxville housing market, they're adjustments. 1 in 5 Americans slash prices as buyers gain the upper hand on a shifting market. The number of listings with price cuts reached 19.9%, unchanged from August, but are modestly up from last year. While the price range that I think is probably taking the hardest hit is between $350,000 and $500,000. The markdowns were as much as 21.6%. While our luxury properties over $1 million have seen just a little reduction of 13.3%. High-end sellers have greater value, financial flexibility, equity, and are listing second homes, given the options to wait rather than slash prices. Meanwhile, entry-level buyers typically need to sell in order to buy, making a quicker adjustment to know. And that's probably one of the biggest factors as we kind of close out this show is that in that mid-range market, which is normal market, right, for most all of us, right, that market has an opportunity where there's a domino effect. And that's really where we see. And so as I would encourage as we're selling towards the end of the year and closing out the end of the year, that things are obviously, I think, are a little bit behind. Rates weren't adjusted where we needed to be. They're done here. Almost feels like it's too late. But that shift in the market may just come later towards the end of the year before the beginning part. So that's what I'm saying is the opportunity for selling in October has never been so great. So keep that in mind if you put your home on the market. Think about that opportunity when pricing your home. And know that domino effect just may come later in this year. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. As always, I love spending time with you and look forward to seeing you next weekend. If you need us for anything, we're always around, just a phone call away. Look forward to seeing you next week. Have an amazing weekend. Take care.